Here we have StasisVault versus Mono Black. My son will be playing the Mono Black deck, and I am playing the StasisVault deck. Island, Swamp, Ancestral Recall, discarding 2 cards. Swamp pass turn. Howling Mine. That's a reprint of Meister's Factory. Sorry, I only have 4, and then my other deck. Well, I have 4 original prints, and then I have 4 foil reprints. Hypnotic Spectre. Time Vault. Twiddle the Time Vault. Tap it to use it for another turn. Tapping 2 blues. Another Howling Mine. Oh, untap the Time Vault again. Tap it using the turn. Now I'm drawing 3 cards. There's a Tundra. Recall. For 1, looks like. Discard a copy artifact. Get back to Twiddle. Recall is removed from the game. Tap. Twiddle the Time Vault again. Draw 3 cards from the Howling Mines. Kismet. And a Black Vice. Very nice. Not a bad third turn there. Laying down an Urborg for another Hypnotic Spectre. Comes into play tapped, attacks for 2. And I lose a card. Counterspell. I'm sorry, dice are going crazy here. There we go. My turn, untap, and tap the Time Vault by accident. That needs to be tapped back. There's a Stasis. So I have the Stasis Kismet lock now. And Time Vault is tapped, should be tapped. Yep, there we go. Pass turn. Discards a Drain Life. Takes life from the Black Vice as well. I think I'm trying to decide what I want to do here. Yeah, skip turn to untap the Time Vault. He takes more damage from the Black Vice. Discards a Pestilence, and the Animite Dead. My turn. Island. Copy artifact on the Black Vice. Pass turn. He takes damage from 2 Black Vices now, with 7 cards in the hand. So that's a total of, what, 6 damage? So next turn, technically, he'll be dead anyways. So I decide to Boomerang Stasis back to my hand, so I get an untap phase. Tundra. Looks like I'm tapping 4 for 2 more Time Vaults. There's a Time Walk. Drawing 3 more cards from the Howling Mine. Tap for another turn. At this point, I'm just messing with him because I know he's dead anyways next turn from the Black Vices. I was just trying to see how many turns I could take in a row. Oh, there's 2 more Black Vices. So technically, if he's got 7 cards in his hand, he'll be taking 12 damage next turn. There's another island. And there's a time elemental. That's two blues and 2 others, and you can tap that to return a permanent to your hand. So technically I had the permanent stasis lock going on with the Kismet and stasis. And then I pass turn and he's dead. And here we have game 2. He starts out with a Maestro's Factory. It's past turn, and there's a Tundra and a Mock Sapphire. Second turn, Swamp. And so he's going to activate the factory, attack for 2. I forgot to change my life total, so it was already good to go. My turn, Island, Black Vice. And pass turn. He'll take 2 from the Black Vice. Swamp and a Hypnotic Scepter, but there's a counter spell. There's a Felden's Cane. That you tap, sacrifice, shuffle your graveyard into your library, and then Felden's Cane is removed from the game. There's another hippie, and I had another counter spell in my hand. Good. And then pass turn. He forgot to take damage from the Black Vice. There's a Howling Mine. And pass turn. So he'll draw 2 this time. There's a Swamp. We gotta take damage. There's a Singer Vampire. Time Elemental. And pass turn. Sinkhole, targeting my Tundra. And there's a Stasis. See, he's only got 1 land untapped, and his Singer and his Maestros is tapped. And he drops another Swamp. Laid the Stasis down here to prevent damage, because I was taking 4 each turn from that. Probably have a Boomerang or something in my hand. There we go. Boomerang, Stasis back to my hand. So I'll get to untap. I'm drawing 2 from the Howling Mine. There's another Island. 2 for a Stasis. And pass turn, he takes damage from the Black Vice. Swamp. Sinkhole on an island. Boomerang Stasis back to my hand again. Get untap. There's a Time Vault. And there's Stasis back again. He has a rack down too. There we go. I pass turn to him to be able to untap my Time Vault. Strip Mine. Activating the factory, attacking with the factory, I'll take 2. So right now it's both light totals are on 10. Stasis goes away because I don't pay it, but it's okay because I have the time vault, so I can take an extra turn afterwards. So I'll still get an untap step before him. Draw my other 2 cards. Twiddle the time vault. Play control magic on his Singer Vampire. Play another Black Vice. Tap the time vault for another turn. Play down the Maze of Ith. There's a 3rd Black Vice. Attack for 4 with his own Singer Vampire. Puts him at 6. Okay, he has 7 cards in hand, and he's got 3 Black Vices on him, and he's got 6 life, so that's game. Okay, and here we go with game number 3. It starts out with a Maestros Factory and the rack. And pass turn. I drop an island. Pass turn, he got a swamp. Plus, tries to play him to Torak, but doesn't realize he doesn't have 2 black mana. Takes it back. So he's attacking with the Maestros for 2. And then pass turn. My turn, island into a time vault. Looks like he's playing a Dark Ritual. And then a Mind Twist for 3. Okay, let's see what he gets. Okay, so he got my Twiddle, and he got a Control Magic and a Boomerang. And I apologize, that is a reprinted Boomerang there. Okay, my turn, 2 for the Howling Mine. He'll draw 2 this turn. Attack for 2 with the Maestros. I'll take damage from the rack during my upkeep. I get to draw 2 this time. There's a Serendipity Freed. It's a revised. It's got a green border on it, but it is a blue card. 3/4 flyer, does 1 damage to you during your upkeep. He drops an Urborg. And there is a Hymn to Torak. I only got 2 cards in hand, so I'll have to discard both of them. He passes turn, I take damage from the rack, and I take 1 damage from the Serendip. So I was trying to decide whether to play the Howling Mine or the Time Twister. I went ahead and played the Time Twister because I'd rather have 7 cards now to prevent damage from the rack, and if he's got something to make me discard, I'd have to discard it, so better to go ahead and get it out. Did make a mistake. I put the Time Twister back in my deck. I should have put that in a separate discard pile, graveyard. But I'll have to go back and fish it out before I reshuffle and draw. Here I am shuffling his deck. He's not a great shuffler. And there's the Time Twister. So I'll draw my 7 cards. And there is a Ancestral. So I'll draw 3 more, but it'll give me 9 cards in hand, so I'll have to discard 2. And it's an island, and it looked like a Kissman, I guess. Attack for 3. And pass turn. the swamp into a dark ritual. And there's a Singer Vampire. And pass turn. I take 1 damage from the Serendib. I got a full hand, so no more damage from the rack. There's a second Serendib. And I twiddle the Time Vault. Attack for 3. This was kind of a mistake because he can block that. And now the Singer gets a +1/+1 counter on it because the Serendib died. But it saves me 1 damage during my upkeep when I use the Time Vault. So I'm going to go ahead and use a twiddle to tap his Singer. Now I can get through my Serendib. Play a Stasis now that everything's locked down. And attack for 3. He plays a swap, passes turn. I'm going to skip my turn, give him another turn so I can untap my Time Vault. He plays a second swap. There's a Dark Ritual. Sorry for the reprint. And there's an Mineral's Disc, but it comes into play tapped. So as long as he doesn't get an untap step, I should be fine. Pay a blue for the Stasis. Should take 1 damage for the Serendib. Pass turn. He draws his 2. There's a Bazaar Baghdad. Sorry you can't really see it because the screen's cut off. That is a Bazaar Baghdad. Works really good in this deck and the mono black because you get to draw 2, then discard 3, so you can draw your creatures and your animate dead, discard them, and re-bring them back for less mana. So I used a Boomerang at the end of his turn to return Stasis to my hand, so I get an untap step. Play the Tundra. There's a Black Vice. Take 1 damage from the Serendib. Forgot to during my upkeep. Attack with the Serendib. It's 3 damage to him. Tap the Time Vault for my extra turn. Or I got his turn stored, I guess. There's a Recall. Discard a counterspell and an island. I'm sure I'm going to get my Twiddles back. So I'll take my extra turn from the Time Vault, take my 1 damage from the Serendib. Draw my 2 cards from the Howling Mine. Copy Artifact on the Black Vice. Twiddle the Time Vault. There's a Time Elemental. Attack for 3. Then I'll use my Time Vault to take an additional turn. Take 1 damage from the Serendib. Untap everything. There's another Black Vice. Untap the Time Vault again. There's a Recall. Looks like for 2. Yeah, I'm going to get 2 Twiddles back. At this point, he's already dead because he's got 7 cards in hand and 3 damage from each Black Vice. So that takes him to 9. So I'm just kind of like messing with him, see how many turns I can actually get. So I attack for 3 more. Take 1 damage turns from the Serendib during my untap. Or I'm sorry, upkeep. Twiddle the Time Vault again. Attack for 3. Puts him at 2 life. So technically I could kill him with the Serendib, but I think what I'll do here is I pass turn. Right now I'm doing the math on the time, the Black Vice is to time how much damage he's going to do. So I just pass turn and then he's dead. Hope you enjoyed this video. Next is going to be StasisVault versus Armageddon.